Don't let my wife hear this, but there are very few things more influential in my life than my hobby, which is obviously painting miniatures. If you click on this video, I will be willing to bet some money that you probably have spent countless hours buying, collecting, building, painting, and playing with miniatures. I know I have. Nothing is a coincidence. Your past shapes your present and your future. Part of my past was spending those countless hours dreaming about monsters and adventurers plotted against each other in the darkness beneath the world. Today, I will tell you of a single most influential game of my hobby journey and what happened to my original copy whilst I was back home during this past summer. Not long ago, I had the genius idea of buying a second-hand copy of the game and inviting my friends over to play with me. It got me so excited that I decided to paint it. This was a childhood dream come true. It took a while, but having a fully painted set is one of the things I am most proud of, and Rush the Watch has a whole series on how I did this back then. But this was not my childhood copy. That one was lying dormant in the darkest of caverns beneath the world. I mean, my mom's basement. But anyways, it was waiting for a hero to come pick it up and restore it to its rightful place as the first and most influential miniature game of my life. This is the first in a short series of videos I will create to show you how I restored my first ever copy of HEROQUEST. You will see the whole process where I tried my best to get my original HEROQUEST not only to be a playable game, but a painted one too. But for this, I need to ask you a favor. Click on that subscribe button and activate notifications so you do not miss any of the new videos I post. Thanks, and now let's get to it. What do you expect to find when you open a game which you haven't played with since your teens? I was half terrified, half excited. I found things I didn't expect to be here, and I missed things that should totally be here. Unfortunately, the minis were nowhere to be seen. Probably stored somewhere else, maybe given to a friend, or maybe poached for a different army. Checking the list of contents, I saw that I had lost the cards and some of the tiles. The skull dice were there, but like most of the other stuff, they really needed some love. I dropped them in some bleach to make sure they would be shiny once I was done checking the contents. This would prove to be a stupid mistake. Anyways, whilst I was checking what I had in the box, I found some pleasant surprises. There were the Return of the Witch Lore expansion booklet and box in very good condition, and a quest book I had started writing a long time ago. I went to get some stuff to start cleaning everything, as there was a musty dank smell inside of the box, and I decided to check on the dice as well. Mistakes were made. The dice had lost the symbols for the most part, as they were not carved in. That was not a good start for a restoration project. After cleaning the components, I realized my doors were in need of some serious love, as were the books. I ironed them all to get them to look a little less wrinkled. Unfortunately, after searching through several of my boxes, I was still missing some of the miniatures and other important stuff for the game. Nevertheless, I had a plan. I will restore the box, print the missing tiles and cards, find alternative miniatures, paint the whole game, and last but not least, I will invite some friends for a day of HEROQUEST. This meant I had 2 weeks to get it all sorted out before the end of my summer break. Will I be able to pull it off? We'll see. My box had seen better days. I had bought the game from an acquaintance who was not much into it, and he had written his name on the lid. As a kid, I fixed this by covering his name with mine. On top of that, there was other damage that I had tried hiding with markers. The heck is that? A ghost? Oh, and let's not forget about the scratches and broken corners, and the mandatory sellotape to try to keep it all together. Step 1. Remove sellotape with a hairdryer. Step 2. Iron the whole thing to kill any mold and make sure it is dry after having wiped it with a damp cloth. Step 3. Clean the sellotape residue with some alcohol. Should have done this before ironing, by the way. Step 4. Patiently glue back the pieces of the box that were ripped off with the sellotape. Step 5. Glue the corners of the box using small strips of paper and white glue. The hairdryer is very important in this step to make sure they stay in place. Step 6. Retouch the corners with paint. Step 7. The most artistic of them all. Try to fix the areas that were damaged on the top lid. Once I finish painting the top lid, I will repeat steps 5 and 6 to make sure the corners look proper. Step 8. Seal everything with a generous coat of varnish. This will make it more durable, seal the paint and give it a nice shine that will make it look almost as new. And that's that. The box was now fixed and it looked even better than when I had gotten the game all those years ago. The whole set of cards was missing. I had lost it many years ago, God knows where. Some tiles were missing also. Luckily for all enthusiasts, you can find scans all over the internet, in Facebook groups or in an astounding website called The Old Inn. I didn't have a printer, but I knew someone that did. Let me introduce you to...
Coming up on Scratch.
This is Igor, or as we call him, Trubo. He's one of my best friends ever, as well as a fellow game nerd enthusiast. His collection is, well, more than any of us will ever be able to play or paint in our lifetime. Trubo has his own copy of HEROQUEST, so we checked what he did have, printed the stuff to match the contents of the original Spanish copy, and he also ordered some card sleeves that fit the very specific measurements of the European HEROQUEST copy that I had. I took everything back home, and then I started cutting corners, putting the cards inside the sleeves. I cut those sleeves to measurement, and now I had a nice new set of cards. Gracias, Trubo. The tiles were also cut. I glued several layers of the paper we used, 300 grams, to get them to the desired thickness, and ended the whole deal by making sure they were cropped to measurements. The older tiles I retouched and finished it all by giving everything a coat of protective varnish so they would endure another 30 years or so of gaming in good condition. After the dice debacle, I just had an option here, to draw the symbols myself. Armed with a marker, I did that. In retrospect, I should have used a Sharpie, but I couldn't find one that was that sharp. Once finished, I varnished the dice to make sure the symbols on them stayed in place. The minis, on the other hand, had some creative differences with my past self. It was time to fix those. I pinned everything to make sure the repairs were sturdy. I cleaned the mold lines, used some green stuff here and there to fix some of the problems, washed everything and made sure the whole set was ready for the next step in the process, which I will show you in the next video of this series. If you have watched up until here, I really appreciate it. Make sure that you subscribe and activate notifications, as there will be more to show on this topic. My name is Miguel, this is Rush the Wash, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Un beso, adiós.